Hi and welcome to Candyfloss Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful rose that I've put on my granny square, and I've added an extra couple of leaves on there. This rose the pattern is from Lisa Hooper of Cute Crochet Makes. So if you want to, I will put a link to her website at the bottom of this in the description box. So if you wanted to pick up her written patterns, then go on to her link. But I'm just going to show you how to make this pattern. So it's quite a cute one. It's a beautiful little rose. Let's get started. So you will need a 4mm crochet hook, some scissors and a darning needle. The yarn I'm using today is this one. This is called Fuchsia. It's from Stylecraft Special DK. I don't think they make it anymore. I've had it quite a while, so I'm not sure they actually make exactly the same shade, but any DK is absolutely fine. And we're going to start off with a magic circle. So the way I do my magic circles, everyone does them slightly differently, but I'll just show you how I do mine. Drape my yarn over the back of my hand, cross it over under my thumb, back round the top of my hand, back under my thumb to hold it. Taking my hook, with the hook down, I go underneath the first yarn, pick up the second yarn on my hook and twist it completely round on itself, and then pick up that back yarn again and twist it again. Take my hand out and slip stitch one over the other, and that is my magic circle. Just going to pull that in a little bit tighter, because I find it easier to work when it's on a tighter loop, on a smaller loop rather. So once you've done your magic circle, however you're going to do it, you need to chain 2. And all the terms I'm going to use in this pattern are in UK terms. And I want you to do 16 trebles into this circle. So to do a treble, you're yarning over, insert, yarn over, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Do that one again with you. Yarn over, insert your hook into the circle, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're doing 16 trebles, UK trebles, into your magic circle. As you see, they build up quite quickly. So if you want to pause the video at this point, get all your 16 worked up, and then join me again, and I'll show you how to join your circle together. Okay, you should now have 16 trebles, UK trebles, into your circle. I've pulled the end of my circle in just to tighten up that hole, which has brought me back round. And I'm now going to join my circle, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of this stitch here. And to slip stitch, you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then you pull through the back loop over the first loop on your hook. Okay, and that finishes your first round. So we're on to round 2 now. So chain 1 and then work a double crochet into the same space. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 3. That's my third. Skip the next stitch, and then you're working a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 3. Skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next one. Chain 3. Skip the next one, double crochet into the next one. So you should have something that's starting to resemble this, and you need to repeat that all the way around until you have 8 chain spaces. So if you want to carry on and do that, and meet me back when you get to the end, and I'll show you how to join this round. Okay, your work should resemble something along these lines now. So you should have 8 of these chain spaces here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've just done my last chain 3, which will make 8. And you now need to slip stitch to join that one. So you're skipping a stitch and you're slip stitching into the last of your previous round on this one. So slip stitching, I've now got 8 chain spaces. You now need to go on to round 3, and to do round 3 you need to get yourself into this chain space. So slip stitch into the next stitch, because you want to get your yarn up into that chain space, and then slip stitch into that chain space. So you're now working in this chain space, and then you need to work 6 trebles into that chain space. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might have to just slide them along a bit just to get them all in. Depends how loosely you crochet. So that's your 6. You now go to your next chain space, and you're going to do a double crochet into that one. So just insert into the next chain space and work a double crochet. Moving on to the next chain space, you need to do 6 trebles into the next chain space. By the end of this round, you should have created 4 petals. Okay, got a knot in my yarn. So that's, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. And your next one, you're doing a double crochet into the next chain space and jumping to the next one and working 6. So if you want to pause the video at this point, don't forget you're doing 6 trebles, and then in the next chain space you're doing a double crochet and then 6 trebles again. So work all the way around, and I'll join you when you get to the end. Okay, so you should now have 4 petals. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm just on my last one, so you should have 1 chain space left, and you're doing your double crochet into that chain space on there, and then you'll slip stitch into finish just into the base of the chain, your next space along. Okay, so just so you can see, we have just created, we've done our, pull these petals, we've done our center ring, and we've just created the first 4 petals that go around that ring. So this is where we're at the moment. So on my lilac-y one here, you can see them curling in, and that will, as we're now going to start working on creating the base for the next row of petals. Okay, we're now on to round 4. I want you to chain 1 and then turn your work, so you're now on the back of the flower. And now we're going to do create the row for row 4, and we're going to create row 5 now. So I need you to work into the post. So I'm pulling my work out here, and I'm hoping you can see where I'm saying. So these here are the posts from row 2, and we need to work around these posts, all the way around those, and we need to do a double crochet on each post and then a chain 3 all the way around, so that you get 8 chain 3 loops. And the reason we're doing that is because the next row we're going to work into that chain 3 loop that we create. So I'll work with you on this one all the way around so you can see where you're going. So my first post is here, this one. I'm going to put my hook right behind it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and you chain 3, and I work to my next post, which is here, yarn over and pull through, chaining 3 again, working round, find the next post, go behind the whole post, work a double crochet and chain 3, working round again, the next post is there, behind the whole post, double crochet, chain 3, working all the way around to the next post, double crochet, Find your next post, which is this one, yarn behind, chain 3, next post is this one here, find my last one up here, which is my last post is this one here. This one's always a bit difficult to see because it's sort of connected with the one before, but I'm going to go in here, put my hook behind this one, chain 3, more, and then I'm just going to attach to this chain here. So this is my first one. There you go. So you should now have your chain 3s all the way around, and you should have 8. So we've got 1 here, oh I can't get it now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and my last one up here is number 8. And that's the end of that round. So that's that round completed now. Chain your 1, turn your work back to the front or the right side of your work, and we are now going to be working into these chain spaces here, right into the space that we've just created towards the back of our work. And you're going to be working doing individual petals again, but missing a petal. So I'll just run through it with you. In the first one, I want you to do 4 trebles. So that's yarn over first, insert, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So do 4 of those. And now what we want to do is create this point. So we're in this round here now, and we need to create these little points. And as you can see, we've only got 4 petals in this round, but each one is topped off with a point. So we're working 4 trebles and what we call picot stitch, and then another 4 trebles. So that's the bit we're at the moment. So we've done our 4 trebles in our first chain 4 space, and then we're going to chain 3. This is the picot stitch, and then you slip stitch into the first chain. So this one here, so you've got 1, 2, 3, you're going into this one, and you just slip stitch, and that forms your point, and that is all a picot stitch is. It's a bit fiddly, but once you've got it, it's okay. And then back into the space, you might have to move your stitches across, and you do another 4 trebles into that one. 3 and 4, and that's created the first of that layer of petals. The next one, you just do a double crochet into the next chain space, so the next chain space along, just do a double crochet in there, that anchors that last one down. Skip to the next one because we only want to make 4 petals, so we're going to make a petal, skip one with a double crochet, another petal, and we're doing 4 trebles in here. And it's going to be the same all the way around. So that's 2, 3 and 4. Don't forget now you have to do your picot, so that's chain 3, slip stitch into that very first chain, and then back into your chain space below and do another 4 trebles. That's my last one. In your next chain space, you're doing a double crochet to anchor that one down, and you jump in straight to the next one to do 4 trebles, a picot, 4 trebles, skip 1, and carry on all the way around until you have 4 petals created. So if you pause the video there, and I'll meet you back when you get to the end. Okay, so you should now have 4 petals, and you've got 1 chain space left, which is here. And what we've done now is we've created the first and second row of petals. We've now got to create the row that the last row of petals can actually sit on. So to finish this one off, make sure you finish it off with your double crochet into the last chain space. And then we need to anchor this one, but as you see, all the rest of them are anchored quite high up, so you're going up to here and you're going to put your slip stitch into this stitch here just to anchor that one in. And that's your row done with your second row of petals. And we're now moving on to row 6. Okay, so we need to turn our work over again. So chain 2 and go to the back, and we're going to work around those posts again like we did before. And there's 8 posts that we need to work around. We need to do a double crochet behind each post and then chain 3 and a double crochet in the next. So just to show you, this is your post here. So there's one there, and it's down not on the row we've just done but on the row previous. There's another one there, one there, one there, one there. So let me work it with you and hopefully you'll be able to see exactly where I'm going. So you work your double crochet behind this post here. So below where you've done your 4 trebles picot is this stitch here. So you're working double crochet behind that whole post, chaining 3, turn it round and find the next post. So the next bit that is anchored down, you go behind the whole post, double crochet, chain 3, all the way around to the next one, which is here. So I hope you can see it's basically the one that's anchoring it all to it. Go behind the whole post, double crochet, chain 3. Next post is there, behind that one, double crochet, chain 3, get my end out the way. Next post is this one here, go all the way around it. Oh, get my yarn in the wrong way. Chain my 3, next post is this one here, double crochet, chain 3, next one's here, I should be on my last one now, so I'm just going to count back and hope we got it right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, one there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, my last chain 3, my last post is there, go around that one, and then I'm going to slip stitch to join up the end on my post. So I'm just going to go into this one here and slip stitch across. So you should now just pull my end up. On the reverse you should have your chain 3s, and you should have 8 chain 3s all the way around your circle. So just count those up and make sure you've got 8. You now can chain 1, turn your work, so the flower is now facing forward, and we're going to start working on our outer row petals here. So I've still got my ends on here, the outer row petals. So again, we're going to be doing the picot stitch, but I'll go through it with you. So we're now on row 7. We've chained 1, we've turned our work to the right side, and then we're going to make a single crochet, sorry, a double crochet, 3 trebles, a picot, 3 trebles, and then a double crochet, all into the chain spaces from the previous round. Okay, so I'll do those with you. So start off with, you do your double crochet, then you're doing 3 trebles, one more, then you do your picot, which is chain 3, slip stitch into the very first chain, and you're back into that chain space that we've just created, and you're going to do 3 trebles again, that's your 3 trebles, and then you're going to do a double crochet at the end. And what that does, it's a bit difficult to tell. Let me just move on to the next one a second, and then I'll go back and I'll show you. And you're doing it in each chain space, so the next one you're doing your double crochet there. But when you can see now, it forms like a nice little point, because you start off with a small stitch, you've had 3 stitches up, you've done your picot, 3 stitches back down, ending with a small stitch in there. So on each of these chain spaces that you created on the previous round, all these around here, you're working into the whole space, and you're going to work a double crochet into each one, 3 trebles, a picot, 3 trebles, and back down to a double. So I'll do another one with you. So I've just done my double. I'm going to do 3 trebles. What I tend to do is push the petals from the previous rounds out of the way so I can see where I'm working. Otherwise I find that they catch my hook as I go through. So I've done my 3, do my picot, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the first chain, and I'm back down into that chain space. I'm doing my next 3 trebles, and I'm ending it with a double. Moving on to the next chain space, so make sure you don't miss any, because they are quite close together. It's quite easy to sort of jump to the next one. There is one there, so make sure you don't miss them. So start off with your double, your lowest stitch in height, 3 trebles to build up that height to get to the point. And my 3rd one, chain 3 for the picot stitch, slip stitch into the very first chain that you created. I dropped it, there we go. 3 trebles back into that chain space. My yarn's pulling. 3, and as finishing as we started with a double crochet in that one. And as you can see now, my petals are starting to form around the outside, and you need to go all the way round and work 8 of these. So if you want to pause the video there, you are working into each of the chain spaces from the previous round. So these are these here that you created on the back on the previous round. You're doing a double crochet, 3 trebles, picot stitch, 3 trebles, double. So work all the way around, and I'll meet you when you get to the end. Okay, so you should now have 8 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with 4 middle petals and 4 in the very, very centre of your rose. And you're at the very last stitch, which is just to finish it off. You just need to slip stitch into the double crochet that you did on the very first one. So that's here. And that's it. Snip off your end. You might want to leave quite a long end on it if you're going to sew it onto something, because you might want to anchor down each one of these points so that they stay flat on your work. So however you want to do it, snip off a long enough end, pull through. You might want to tighten your centre up slightly just to get that centre one done, but that is effectively your rose pattern. So you can see slightly different sizes because I used a different size hook. So on this one I used a 5mm hook, and on this one I used this one I used a 4.5, and this one I used a 4mm. So slightly different. And if you just tweak with the petals to how you like it to look, they lie flat, and that is a rose. Courtesy of Lisa Hooper Cute Crochet Makes. As I said, I'll put a link below to her website so you can purchase a pattern if you want to. Just so that you know, I also made with my granny square here, so I've got the leaves already, so I could put that one on there if I wanted to. The pattern for the leaves, I'll put a link down below in the description box of how to do my leaves. There's also, I'll put a link for a seamless granny square. So this granny square I worked up As you can see, there's 6 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 traditional rows, and it's a seamless granny square. The pattern and the tutorial is available on the link in the description box. Just to then add a border to it, I did a row of double crochets all the way around, and in the corners I did 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, and then I went round and did a row of half trebles and did exactly the same in the corner, so 2 half trebles, chain 2, 2 half trebles in each corner as you're working. So if you wanted to do the complete look, whichever way you want to do it, or whether you're going to sew this, I think this would look quite nice on the side of a hat. If you've made a hat, or if you have a hat already and you just wanted to add an embellishment to it, I think that would look quite nice. But leave your ends nice and long so you can sew on. And that's it. You've now made a rose. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you do like my tutorials, please click the thumbs up button down below, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.